And we're away.
Fucking about time, mate. Jeez Louise.
It only took about an hour.
That was an effort. I feel like we were trying to figure out Facebook for the first time.
Yeah. Coming from MySpace.
Yeah. Do you remember any statuses from your parents? Well, like early Facebook days.
Yeah.
My mum had one. You know when you could have, I don't know if it's a bio, but you've got your name and then there's like a thing underneath.
Yep.
Yeah. My mum had. So she had like a, you know, when you FaceTime them and they get chins like, oh, shit happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Brad. You're like, hey, fucking, you don't need to. Turn down a bit, yeah. And so she had that selfie at her profile picture.
Yeah.
And then because she's of that age where they just listen to the 9 News and Channel 7 and shit, and they just go, yeah, that's fucking truth. That's what's happening in the world. And it must have been, the latest story must have been, there's online stalkers out there.
Yeah.
So she put in a bio, knowing this newfound news that she'd had, was like, I'm married, don't try anything. I was like, I messaged her, I was like, Mum.
So it wasn't even a status update.
No, it wasn't a status update. It was in a little. It was permanently locked in, mate. It was like
my dad. I don't know if you haven't noticed. You don't have Facebook at the moment, but my dad doesn't have Facebook anymore because he's been hacked.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's gone woke.
No, he's. I think he must have. He would have probably chatted to someone in Farmville, and he got all the details for him, and then now he's been hacked by some Indian on the other side of the world. And I thought it might. He's tried to get in several times, and Alana's made him a new one, and every time they make a new one, they think he's a hacker. So now we have to talk to him on WhatsApp.
Your dad is a hacker, he's not even going to get Instagram?
No.
No. I don't understand that. I don't get that. Well, it took long enough. I mean, you got to realise that that generation, like, it must be wild trying to figure this shit out. Like now, like social media really. What do you reckon? Like 2010, it really kicked off. Like 2009 was about. I don't know when Facebook came in. I'm just going to say 2009 or 6 or something like that. 2010, then you got competition. Yeah. And they're like, fucking slow down. So I get it.
My dad's pretty savvy because he still types like this. But,
the old finger.
But back in the day, around 2009, as you said, he was he had LimeWire and Pirate Bay, and he was downloading movies all like the feds could have caught up with him, but they've only just caught up with him now in Farmville. But he's he had people all over our hometown of Tenterfield would come over with their little USB stick and he'd be like, "Yep, I got this new movie, the Expendables 1. It's action. You'll love it. I'll put that on for you, and I'll put this season of Sons of Anarchy on there for you. You'll love that one." And then
just burn a lot of discs.
yeah.
Right, that's it.
And then and the old guys, he'd have to go to the old guy's house and teach them how to put the disc into the DVD player. So he was the most savvy person on of his age.
I tell you who needs a pay rise in that whole scenario is that FBI agent that downloaded Farmville. Because if you know who a hacker is, you look at their farm and he hasn't got any corn growing, like he's not looking after his animals, you know.
Yeah.
he's actually built a full farm, got addicted. They're like, Sean, are you really here to get Adam's dad, or are you just here to enjoy Farmville? It's like, hey, you've got to enjoy what you do in life, okay? And I've got to look legit. So, I've got to feed me. Actually, I can't remember Farmville. I can't remember what we had to do. I assume we just had a farm.
Everyone played it amongst my friends for about 3 weeks, and we got Dad onto it, and then like 5 years later, he's like level 168, and he's got, he's
completed the game.
Yeah. So anyway, we decided to make a podcast like every other bloke ever. But we don't live in the same town, so it's just taken us 2 hours to figure out how to record this and record him up there into this screen. I'm a bottom. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I've got this thing.
Yeah.
So I can
get it right there. There
it is. It's it, mate. The best thing you can buy for $4 right there.
So we thought we'd screen record whatever is happening right now. I think we're on Google Meets. We just tried 5 different apps.
We're in a business meeting at the moment, actually.
So we're screen recording this, and this is the first podcast to see if it's actually going to amount to anything.
Yeah, we'll just pop the cherry just to begin with. Speaking of our parents' generation, you know what? Like, they might not get social media, but you know one thing that they did better, or do better.
What?
No, did better. They've settled down now. They what do the kids call it these days? Rizzing.
Yeah. We used to call it game when we were teenagers and in our 20s.
What'd you call it?
Game.
Oh, game. Yeah.
Game.
They game's better. I thought you said they mate, and I was like, I don't think we called it that. They mated better. I saw David Attenborough talk about it.
So the kids these days have invented the term Rizz, but they don't know how to Rizz. It's like, hey, what's up, girl? You got Snap? What's up?
Snap? Do they even say that anymore? I like.
They wouldn't vocalize anything because they're too shy.
Well, you think of the classic rom-coms. You know, you think of the classic rom-coms, and you go, every one of them, which is probably a new-ish term. They were heavy simps. They simped hard,
and they would
like Noah.
In these days,
Noah,
they get Me Too'd.
Oh, they'd get Me Too for sure. Yeah, like, but Noah from the Notebook, he remember he was like, she's like, I want a blue house with or was it the other way around? White house, blue shutters, something like that.
Yeah, and a big red door or something, and she and he went and built it. What a simp!
And he went and built it. And he's just sitting out there like, she will come.
And he's got this big beard, and he's just like.
and then she finally turns up, and every girl's like, so romantic. You know why you think that's so romantic? You know why? Because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Gosling.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Gosling.
Oh, well, if it was Ryan Reynolds.
They look the same.
You know, I don't know but
if
it was
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds, I don't think Ryan Reynolds would simp. I think he'd just be like...
He'd just neg. Back in the game days, we used to call it negging. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that term. What's negging?
It's when you tease them in a negative way. So.
You shortened it.
So yeah, because the book The Game came out in 2000 and something, early 2000s, and it was even on a few Hollywood movies. And negging was, you pick the 10 out of 10 at the table, and you more or less insult them, and then flirt with their friends. So then the babe or the supermodel or whatever is like, why isn't this guy attracted to me? I'm going to chase him now. That was the whole thing about negging. It's like, oh, you're kind of cute, but you're a bit of trouble. You know, I don't really like... And you that dress doesn't do you a favour. I've never really done the negging thing before. You pretty much just like... just insult the shit out of them. But anyway, but yeah, with Ryan Gosling, not Reynolds.
I forgot Ryan Gosling existed, to be fair. Not to quote Taylor Swift, but, you know, he existed.
Ryan Gosling did Ken, remember?
He did what?
He played Ken in Barbie.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wow, he did that well.
So before he built the house in Notebook and became a simp, he to actually get her in the first place, he harassed the fuck out of her, and he was chasing her around the carnival to the point where he was hanging off that Ferris wheel and say, "Go out with me, or I'll fucking kill myself," and the girls are just like, oh, because it's see this wouldn't work unless. Like, for 95% of dudes, it wouldn't work unless you're Ryan Gosling, you look like Ryan Gosling, and you've got the charisma that he has, because he's just so charismatic and
mate, if I did that,
funny.
I'm falling to my death. The girl would be like, fucking do me a favour, because you've been harassing me so much, and let go. I'll tickle you. She's that picture of me or some shit, you know.
This is from
100%.
Audi. This is a pale ale from Audi. It was like, worked out to $2 a beer or something. Yeah.
Did you get was it like no alcohol content?
Oh, it's 4.7%.
From Audi.
Pregnant people can't drink it. Listen to me saying pregnant people.
What Audi?
Audis have alcohol. Oh, there's $3 wine over there in the corner from Audi.
What?
It doesn't. They don't just have the treasure thing in the middle. Next to the...
How long have they had this?
Forever. I used to get it at uni. And I went to uni 10 years ago.
Mate, all I associate Audi with is that stress when the ladies or the man is sitting at the counter and they just fucking throw your shit.
Yeah.
And you're like at the other end just trying to like get it and they don't give you a bag. That stressed me out. So I had never seen alcohol in Audi. I don't know if it was just because I was like responding to stress or not, but I didn't.
It's cheap German beer and $3 bottles of wine.
That's what I had no idea. That's like very Walmart, you know, like Walmart, and when it's like so you can get pissed in here as well.
Yeah, well, you got Europe and you got America, and they all have alcohol in their supermarkets. What are we doing? But we got Audi.
Well, Audi's apparently on board. I have to go there tomorrow.
Yeah,
I have to go there tomorrow
check it out.
To see this wonder.
Record a video of you going in.
Popping in there like a boomer, being like, here I am in Audi. They've started selling alcohol. That's fucking wild. I had no idea that Audi sold alcohol. Although I have been in the wilderness for like a decade. So you know,
you had to get alcohol sent into you from Amazon or something.
Yep. Well, no, you just pay that. You just pay an exuberant amount for like 4x gold. It's like
the Res Club.
What's that?
It's like the Res Club.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, how much did we used to pay for alcohol at the? This was at Ulara, next to Uluru.
Yeah, so I mean,
you're allowed to get 2 bottles of wine a day, weren't you?
'Cause it's 2 bottles of wine, which we did, which you could do, and then you get to your weekend and you can polish off like 6, but you've had to like build it up, you know.
So for those playing at home, us two, him up there. We met at Tangalooma Island Resort. We were working on a resort, and later on we both worked at the resort next to Uluru. And the resort next to Uluru had a little bar, and since it was a dry region, right? So you just could only get a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah. Well, that's much of the NT. To be fair, there's like dry laws out there, so or dry community laws. You know, the weird thing about Ulara is that in the NT, it was the only place, like, because it was a resort, you could actually drink publicly in Ulara. Yeah. So it had all these crazy laws, but if I wanted to walk to, well, there's really just one pub, but if I wanted to walk from one of the restaurants to the pub with a drink in my hand, legal. Yeah. Legal. You're in a resort. So it's just like you're...
What about when we were just outside the resort on that sand dune, drinking and... Was that legal?
Like, I wouldn't, you know, that's... I think we might have been just on a high,
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah,
exactly.
Legally speaking.
Legally speaking. We're in a Google meeting.
Professionally speaking, yeah.
We got spiked with acid while we were at a rave on the top of a sand dune.
Yeah, I saw some people that did it, and I was like, "That's not for me, sir."
Yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm and the fact that you did an all-nighter and
when I'm editing this video, actually, I'm going to put a video right here.
It's
really windy, remember? You're just like this, and the wind is going against you. You've got fucking glow sticks everywhere, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Video.
For those of you that haven't done hallucinogenics, I don't know what you're doing. We can't have this conversation.
Yeah. This is a Rogan conversation now.
Yeah. I even folded my arms like a Rogan.
Yeah.
It's like I remember the first time I took mushies, and for those of you playing at home, as I said, I'm completely colorblind. I've rang ADSI. My pupils are fucking like this, like an owl on the hunt for the night. And I took it because I was like, I'm just going to take one.
Where were you again?
I was in Tassie. I was in Hobart, and I was in my hotel room in Hobart, and I think you were partying with the circus or something, and and I took one. And I was like watching the football in my room, and you're like, you've got to go out in nature. I was like, I don't know how I am, but I opened the door of my hotel room and I saw a rose bush, and the rose bush was fucking dancing. And I was like, what's that doing over there? So then I wandered out and went from there. And as I said, I'm colorblind, so I've rang you, and I've wandered down to go get a drink, which you do not need and do not want when you're on mushies. You're just like, oh, alcohol, absolutely not. It even tastes different. It's weird. So that's why they've found out now that if you're drinking too much or you're a bit of an alcoholic, jump on mushies. So I'm walking past this park, and I see like the different shades in the grass of green, and I'm green-red colorblind. I was like, ADSI, with my owl eyes. I was like, ADSI, the greens, man, are crazy here. And then you're like, you can't see green. I'm like, I can see green. So I think it must be like a mental block or something going on, because how does it?
Maybe it is.
How does it make it?
Should we get Dr. Carl on the line?
We should.
Triple J.
Oh, yeah,
I went to the op shop today. And I got this. I needed a glass of red wine, a red wine glass, but it's got like a thing where you can catch it.
Like, it's like you put that wine glass,
and then you can drink it from the bottom as well.
It's like you put that wine glass like it's in the cold. It's still very special, but it's like it shrank a little bit. But it's still very special.
It's a safety glass.
I got mine from the op shop as well.
Yeah, you know what else I got? The Aussies will appreciate this, because I've been drinking out of plastic cups here in my caravan. I live in a caravan, fellas, and I got a glass.
Oh, is that Foster's?
Yeah. Foster's Special Bitter.
Do they still think we drink this shit? Or
They do.
Oh, fucking hell.
The world thinks we still drink Foster's. I tasted my first Foster's in London. That was the first time I ever saw it.
Was it decent?
Tasted like new.
Yeah, that's what
my palate. All lagers taste the same.
Yeah.
So a lot of Aussies will just go up in arms right now because Great Northern or Carlton Draft. It's like all that shit tastes the same to me.
No, I'm on board with them. I do think lagers, like if someone gave me a 4X Gold, if I did a blind tasting, someone went 4X Gold and even Great Northern, for example. I'm like, that's Great Northern. Great Northern's it trumps got. I mean, in saying that, there are some like fanatics about there. You know, when you got a VB tat, and you try and say to that guy, VB's like the shittest beer in Australia. That's fighting words.
Well,
that's fighting words.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Now that you got TikTok again, you can watch. Crockbait did a video on Foster's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I think I remember that because he shared it to Instagram.
Yeah, and so all the people in the comments were like, "Fucking, why would you drink Foster's? It's water, you know." And then so you had all these people fighting about what's the best beer, and then you get the true bogans enter the chat, and they're like, "Fuck beer, mate. I need a Bundy and Coke," you know, and they all love their spirits.
Every, like, when I was like 18 to 21, I think a lot of blokes might be able to relate to this. But you go out in your mate group, and that one cunt that drinks fucking Bundy rum is always the one that's fighting.
Yeah.
He just would like, well, tonight, bro, we're going to go pick up some chicks. And you're like, let's just go out and have a good time, man. Go out and have a good time.
What would happen when the chicks would reject him? What would happen?
Yeah, and then it's just like, "Wait, that guy's fucking looking at me weird, man. He's fucking looking at me weird." You're like, you need to... that's the guy that needs mushies. That's the guy that needs mushies.
You need a mush.
Yeah. It's come the fuck down.
I feel like Bundy rum is like the world's equivalent of drinking Monster energy drinks.
Yeah, so true.
It's a sugar cane, right? Go home and beat their missus.
Yeah, it's a sugar cane. It's a sugar cane. Or it's the... I don't know. I would love to see the domestic violent rate around Bundaberg. Just to see. Maybe people from Bundaberg don't even drink it. They're like, oh, fuck. Like, when I was in Brisbane, I never drank 4X Gold. I was like, that's fucking river water. That's a piss.
My mate from in the circus here, Lockie, he's from Rockhampton. He shared a video to me the other day where these it was like the top 5 rudest places in Australia. And it's like this commentator is like, at 5 we have Adelaide, and then I can't remember the exact order, but it's like number 3 comes in Toowoomba, something like that, and then it's like Bundaberg and Rockhampton, and everyone's rude as fuck. Yeah.
Oh mate, that's made from someone that's not from Queensland, clearly, because Queensland are the friendliest people.
Yeah.
They're the friendliest. Like, I find the rudest people in the country are Sydney people. People from
Bourgeois.
Sydney City. Yeah, because you walk down Sydney City and you try and say hello to anyone, fucking good luck to you.
Yeah.
That's what I say. You know, if you do that in Adelaide, you'll probably meet some weirdos, yes.
Yeah.
But you'll get the occasional, I'm going good, mate. Yeah, you know. You go to Rizzing, you're going to the pub, you know. You're going to the pub at 10 a.m. and you drink it with some rando on Queen Street Mall. Because you make friends with Brizzy. Queenslanders are the friendliest people.
Yeah, it's true.
We're probably the dumbest state, to be fair. Yeah. But we've got too nice of weather to be sitting in a classroom.
I was just going to say about Adelaide. Maybe they seem rude because they've got like the Queen's English. Have you noticed that?
Oh, they do.
So Adelaide people, they say dance and chants, and they all sound like they're very posh.
Yeah, well, when I do that poem around the fire by the billabong for the guests and that. For anyone playing,
by the way,
I'm a tour guide. Yeah, by the way, I'm a tour guide and I
at Drover's Run.
Drover's Run, Mcleod's Daughters, if you remember it.
I need my bottle of wine.
Right.
Here, tell the people at home what you do for a living.
I will. I feel like I'm just talking to myself here, but it's okay. So yeah, like when I go down to the billabong, I do the My Country poem, which is if you don't know, like, I don't know that one. You do. I love a sunburnt country. If you haven't heard of that, you're not Australian. Simple as that.
First time I heard it was when I was in Ulara. I was like, what is this?
Well, when the Kiwi did it.
Yeah. So I didn't know about it before Table. But yeah, go on.
What, you never heard of sunburnt country before? You never heard that term?
Never.
fucking crazy. And you're from Tenterfield too. Well,
we do bush poetry in Tenterfield, the oracles of the bush. But
oh yeah, well you've got what's that?
Peter Allen.
Yeah, the Tenterfield Saddler or something.
Yeah, that's all we do. So any other poetry that comes in just gets rebounded out of town because we've got Pete. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're tribal. That's what it is.
Very tribal.
People are tribal as fuck. I can't remember what I was talking about because
you're a tour guide at Drover's Run.
Yeah.
And you do a billabong. Do a billabong tour.
Yeah, but like when I was there, and then it was originally what we were originally talking about, and I've completely forgot it because I was
well, I think we're talking about Adelaide being posh. Posh language.
Thank you. Yeah, excellent. So when I did the poem, the Adelaideans would be like, "Oh, I love Brendan's poem."
Poem.
I was like,
poem.
I was like, how the fuck did you say that? They're like, "That's a poem by the plants." I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. I didn't notice it until I came here, and. Yeah, then like as a Queenslander, you feel really fucking bogan, really bogan. But I don't know, I like it. I feel more Australian.
Yeah, I've never known how to say poem right, because like some people say, what do you say, poem, like poem, like POM almost poem. Yeah, I just wrote a poem. I just wrote a poem, or I just wrote a poem.
Yeah.
Or I just wrote a poem.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they're probably right. They did invent the language, English and shit. Yeah. We just perfected it, though. As Aussies, we just perfected it. Like, English is confusing as fuck. Anyway, there's so many videos out there of people going, so that's how you say that.
We dumbed it down.
Well, yeah. I've got a theory about the Australian accent. Is that, one, we like drinking, and two, it's hot. So one, so we used to talk like this, and excellent, Adam, I've had such a lovely conversation with you, good sir. That's lovely. Well, I think we should partake in a vino. Then you get pissed. Say like, have two glasses, and you start to slur your words. Yeah. But then it's hot. So you slow everything down because it's, I don't know, just fucking crocky of a bugger. You couldn't give a fuck. You couldn't give a fuck anymore. So I reckon it's because it's hot and we're drunk, and that's how the accent came.
No one gave a fuck.
I'd love that if that's actually the truth. It is the truth, actually. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Tour guide. I looked it up somewhere. Yeah.
How's the Aussie accent? You get those videos pop up of the 1970s where a reporter goes into a pub and is like, "Do you think ladies should be in the saloon area or the main bar?" And then they're like, "No, they should be in the saloon."
I don't really agree with it there, but you know, each to their own. I reckon that. If Doris wants to come in here, I mean, best of luck to her, I say.
We're cursing in here. We're cursing.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I've got a really cool fact for you, and a lot of Aussies might not know this. I just assume Aussies are only going to watch this, but anyway. But when you go into the bar. Into the bar. I've still got the fucking accent because we're talking.
That sounds like you're from fucking the Bronx, Chicago or something. Into the bar.
Yeah, yo. When you go into that bar, homie. But
don't know what that was.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But when you go into if you go to the middle of New South Wales, Queensland, somewhere like that. And so it's regional towns, and you go to that old fucking pub, that old shit. And there's
it's always called the Royal.
Or the commercial, the railway. Yeah. So there is a rail that you sit your feet on when you're at the bar. Right? Now behind that rail there either is or isn't, but there always used to be like a trough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there used to be a trough there, and people used to just think, oh, it's because people used to smoke, and just fucking throw them down like that. No, because men were only allowed in pubs. You can Google this if you want. Because men were only allowed in pubs, that was your piss trough. You'd just be like, yeah, fucking George, mate, I'll just grab another one.
There you go.
Let one rip, and then like up you go and sit back down. Anyway, what was I saying, Jono, about the fucking cricket? It was like, oh, mate's just pretty pissed on your leg.
They probably didn't even stand up.
You know the stubby shorts, the classic stubby shorts with the old fella hanging out the side, probably just rips it back and just lets it rip.
I was telling the girls about that the other day, because I work on a circus with a bunch of dancers, and I was telling them that men just pull the stubbies aside and put their dick out the side of their fucking shorts, and they couldn't believe it. They were just like, no way, you're kidding.
Who does that? I don't do that because I'd piss on my leg.
Yeah, no. If you go to you're at the trough and an old fella walks up, he'll still do it.
No.
Yeah.
I've
never had a bloke next to you just like lift his shorts up.
No, you drop them down.
No.
You've dropped them down your whole life. You're not lifting them up now.
No, I've been next to dudes in a trough and they just lift the little gap in there and they just piss out the side and then they put it back in.
How's the stance? Has he got one leg up against the wall?
No. In saying that, I walked past a cubicle the other day and he left the door open and he was doing a kindy wee. It was a 50-year-old man and it was down to his ankles and he's just pissing there. His ass is out, and I just looked through there, and he's just pissing in the,
We call that I think we call that poo bearing, because he's only got his shirt on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's got his dick and his ass to the wind, and
we call it a kindy wee in Tenterfield because some of us used to do it at, like, if you're at a house party, and you go over to the fence, and some of the boys are like, kindy wee. And they just drop it to the ground.
Drop it down.
And that was before everyone well, we all had phones, and the phones had cameras on them, like the Razors, the Motorola's and shit. But no one ever got their phone out to record it.
No. Oh, mate, you imagine growing up in this fucking generation, like, where you just get recorded. Like, there's so many things that I'm so glad. Like, I'm sure that we're recording devices around. I'm not that old where we need the old fucking funny home videos VCR shit. But like, but just it's so easy to just record someone that's fucked up, It's just speaking of that, you said that guy was like 50 years old. I've got who do you think, like, what in your opinion, who would be the most confident demographic in society? Like, with their body, like, they know who they are, they're just, like, fucking rocking it.
Like, probably, like, an influencer or something.
Yeah. You'd think that, You'd think people that look good. I reckon it's old fellas.
Yeah, old people. They don't give a fuck anymore.
You get to that precipice. I can't wait to get to it. That's what I get really excited about getting old, because I'm like, oh, when do I hit that cusp where I don't give a fuck anymore?
Yeah.
Like the old fella on the beach with the Speedos that don't fit, and they're just falling off, his gut's falling over the side of it. He's walking past like some girls tanning.
This is how my dad stands. It's not the hands there, it's the hands here.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting there. Nah, he's getting there. You gotta chuck him behind your back. That's probably about I reckon that's 60 or 70 up.
Oh, is that when you're walking around town and you're like, yeah, that's wood, yeah.
Like it's because I reckon it's because they've been tradies their whole life. They've been working with their hands, and then This is what my dad told me. He goes, like, anyone that anyone that works with their hands their entire life really struggle to retire.
Yeah.
That's why blokes get like
bored
projects. They get projects, you know. They go, all right, I'm gonna fucking do the back shed, you know. They're like, oh wow, he's so creative. Like, no, you need to use your hands.
Yeah.
If you're a guy and you're not using your hands, you probably will feel less of a man. You know, if you're just sitting on the computer all day, just doing that, it's not. You need to do something that's going to really lift that testosterone. Yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah. You
need you need one of these on you.
You need those colours. I think mine are. Look at that. My hands look pretty nice at the moment.
Moisturised.
Fuck yeah. You've got a. Oh, what's that?
Happy.
Is that a burn mark or a tattoo?
That's a smiley.
I was like, oh, you've burnt yourself, have you? Yeah.
Fucking hell. So yeah, but those old guys, even if they're like 60 and they got a beer gut and they're in budgie smugglers, they're the most charismatic fucking. They got Riz out the window. I don't know if that's a saying. Is that a saying? They got Riz out the whiz.
It's a saying now.
And because they learnt, how do you meet a girl back in the day without Snapchat? You fucking say, g'day.
G'day.
You lean up against the pole at the bar and you're like, g'day, Sheila. And
that wouldn't have been at the bar, but you would have.
Yeah.
You would have found them somewhere.
Outside the bar.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm so afraid of with this new generation is how they talk to other people.
It's not even just to women, not even to Riz.
Yeah.
It's just to socialise. They can't socialise.
Well, that would be my advice to any young guy or young girl just trying to pick up a partner, a potential mate, be it male or female, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just how about just trying to talk to people that you're not trying to pick up, just trying to talk to them. I talk to old ladies all the time. Yeah. I talk to old ladies and I just compliment them because they're fucking wholesome as shit. And I love old ladies. I love them so much.
And they're flirty.
Oh, they're super flirty. They're naughty.
They've been through that. They've been through it. They just
they've been rizzed for about 80 years, and you come along and you woo them up after 80 years of being rizzed, and you're fucking like, I mean, that's you rizz a girl that's in her 20s, and she's like, wow, that's the best I've ever heard. If you get that same compliment from an 80-year-old, I mean, my man,
girl in her 20s, the only riz that a girl has received in their 20s is either a sneaky DM, people have slid into their DMs, or they're on Tinder and they're like, hey, you up? And, or
the hey, you up.
Yeah, or they just met this guy in the club and they're just like super clingy and fucking grabbing their waist, and you know when a guy I was telling my mate about this. I was like, this is what you need to avoid if you go clubbing. We don't go clubbing anymore. Definitely not.
No.
But
I don't think I was ever into clubbing, but I've done it, but I don't think I was ever into it.
Yeah, so when you're at the clubs early and you're like, it's like 10 p.m. and this girl is feeling you. She's like, oh, this guy's cute, bit of connection. You're dancing, you're grinding, you end up making out at around 11 o'clock. And this is
make out face just there. What was that?
I don't know. I was just licking my lips because I haven't made out with anyone in fucking like a year. Anyway, so you're making out with someone in the club, fucking doing whatever you just like. This is two people making out.
Feels like you're describing the birds and the bees to me at the moment. It's great.
And it's 11 o'clock. You're like, I've got this girl. She's mine. Ownership. And then gets to 1 o'clock. This girl just wants to have fun, just like that song tried to warn us about. Girls just want to have fun.
Girls, they want to have fun.
And this is what the guy does. He hangs around her. He's like, wait until they, you know, they can go home together, so they can make the sexy times.
Nice.
Immediately, she just dries up like the fucking Simpson Desert, and she's just like, he's not fun anymore. It was cool earlier. Now he's just hanging around behind me, waiting to fucking go home with me. And then this Ryan Gosling comes past. And it's like, sup, girl? What you doing? You want to dance? Goes home with him. Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know what I guess the advice there was don't be that guy that was clingy.
Oh, man, that Bundaberg rum guy. Yeah. He's the guy that went out to find a girl. And he hinged his whole night on it. And he hinged his whole happiness on it. Where you place your energy and your attention is where you place your happiness.
And then the rest of the boys are just having fun. But he's just like,
because they went out there like, no man, just go out and have fun.
I was here to hook up.
Yeah. Oh, and if you've banked your whole night on it, just the best advice is just go and have fun with your friends. Right. The right girl / guy will just appear. They'll just appear in front of you, like, oh, cool.
And gravitate towards the energy because you're just like, fucking. Let's have fun.
I don't want to sound like a fuckboy or a slut, but this is like early days me. I've went out and made out with a girl, same scenario, and then after the makeout, it was just like I was like, cool, get a drink, whatever, and then it's just like, you enjoy your night, and if you meet back up, awesome. Yeah. If you don't, because I'm not going to like just linger around her. Like it's so weird. And you know what happens as well is that that guy that does that will actively avoid having fun, like her having fun. Yeah. Like he's just like really like, oh, let's get out of here. Let's get an Uber. Let's go. Let's do it. Girls will know this better. They'll be able to tell this story way better. But you can see it. It's like, you're like, yeah, oh, just like, let's go. It's like, oh, I'm just with my girls, and I'm feeling myself. And they're just living their best life. Yeah. And you're like, bro, just fucking let's go. Let's
go to my place. Let's go to my place.
And then they'll meet a group. They'll meet a group where they're just like. And they're trying to like walk past them, and the girl's like,
and then the group's just like, who's this guy? And then the girl's just like, I don't know, I just met him.
Hanging around, I don't know what he's doing. But that guy's like, but we kissed and we had a moment, you know. So
that's our clubbing advice, and we don't even go clubbing.
No, I mean, I was in Adelaide, Adelaide, technically, but I was out the other night and I got to experience Adelaide on a Saturday night, it's kind of like a big regional town. So I wasn't drinking either, and it was quite sobering to see from the outside, like as an observer, and there's like this group of guys, and they're all together, and then they kind of hype each other up, and there was like a group of girls on the other side of the street walking past, and they just start making sounds, and I was like, did we revert back to our caveman days? Is that what happened? Like, which was like, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like,
how old were they?
The girl I was with, I kind of just wanted to be like, just give me a second. I got to go coach these dudes over here, because they are not. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're not doing it well.
They're still chimps.
Man. Yeah. It must be.
Did you see the didgeridoo guy around? Didgeridoo? Did you go down Hindley or fucking the main part?
No, I didn't. No. Actually, I don't know where I was. I ended up at a fire festival where people were like spinning fire, and that's how you spin fire apparently. Which they were doing fire twirling and stuff, but by the time I got there, which was like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I think it was going to like 12, I only had the drugos left. So like all the guys on which I previously mentioned being a good thing. They were very peaceful though, so I think that was something. They were just like sitting down, just watching this fire going around, and me being completely sober, I looked at it and tried to put myself in that frame of mind. I was like, oh yeah. I know how. I could do this. Like, it's a very simple thing to just entertain you, but it's very in depth as well if you really think about it.
Yeah. So, going out at night's a whole ball game. What about you? You ever go? You're out. You're in the morning. You haven't even hit the gym yet. You're going for a coffee, and you're just waking up like you're the fucking king of the world, and you're just pure energy, and you're just giving out fucking compliments to people at fucking 8 a.m. in the morning at the cafe.
Mate, I reckon everyone should do that. But I definitely think some days you just woke up feeling good. You're just feeling yourself. You got a tune in your head to start your day. You're just doing you. You're doing you, and you're going out. And I did it the other day. I had, because like I said, I talk to old ladies and I compliment old ladies. And I actually the first wholesome interaction I had was actually with an old guy, because I've got Tassie plates still on my ute, and I pulled up just on the side of the street. He's walking past. He's like, "Oh, where in Tassie are you from, mate?" And I had to explain to him that I wasn't from Tassie. I just bought the ute there, and I lived there for about 2 years. I was actually from Tassie. And anyway, we had a wholesome interaction. Then I went to the op shop, and obviously old ladies there. And I was just like, all right, we're on a roll. And I walked into my regular cafe, and I was just like feeling it, you're just like, I was like, "Morning, ladies, how are you, Karen? You going good?" As girls, blah, 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 blah. You just, and everyone knows you, and you're just really feeling it. Yeah. That's what happens when you just compliment people on a daily basis. And it's not none of, because there's a difference between compliment and flattery. You don't flattery's bullshit. You're just saying shit to be nice. You know, a compliment's a real compliment. You're like, they tried hard at that. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing. So compliment people. And I noticed, because I don't really look, I shouldn't say these days, because if I say these days, it's a word that makes you old. But I was waiting for my coffee, and I noticed that some young ladies, attractive young ladies, were looking my way, and I was like, I didn't know how to react. I was like, Gypsy, what are you doing looking at me? Yeah, but that was, it threw me off. I was like, I'm in my zone. If I meet the girl of my dreams today, you wait. Then it happens, and you're like, they'll be like, good morning, and then you get the generic good morning, and
the hospitality voice.
Yeah, the hospitality, like we've all got it. Anyone that works in hospitality got that. But you want to have a deep conversation with someone, and for some reason, people, they're probably the same to you actually. They just unload all their deepest thoughts and insecurities and all that on me. I love it, by the way. That's
better than small talk.
Oh my god, that's why I can't do Tinder. I don't want to hi, where do you work? All that shit. Give me some deep shit. Give me what are your deepest insecurities? What are you what are you afraid of?
Give me something. Just give me something.
I'll stare deep in your eyes and ask that shit. So if you ain't ready for it,
I'm on Hinge, and interested. I saw a girl on Hinge today, and one of her caption things was, I'm convinced that the best, the coolest or the best people have the worst answers on here. So you know what I mean. So she's like, you got 3 answers to give on Hinge, 3 topics to say. I don't think you have a bio on Hinge. You just got to answer 3 questions, and you can put a voice prompt, voice message, or a video. You can record a video answer.
A video is very...
Yeah, so that's pretty full on. But so she's just like, yeah, the people with the worst ones, like, because are the best people. Because and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Because people are like, for one, don't really want to be on Hinge, and they're not going to put much effort on answering these fucking questions.
Yeah.
And two, like, you could be shit at writing out some answers on a question thing, but extremely charismatic and charming in real life, and just like the connection would be there in real life. But writing a couple of things on a dating app, you just can't do it. And I was like, yeah, I agree with this lady.
Yeah, no, that's 100% thing.
You can't put your personality across.
Yeah, and I think it's like from a personal standpoint, I feel like it devalues yourself to go on a dating app because you feel like, no, I could just meet someone normally.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I meet someone normally?
Yeah. And
then you realise you just work your whole existence and go to the gym.
Yeah. Well, that takes us back to Noah. So every girl, I'm going to say every girl, 100% of women in the world want to tell their kids later in life that they met a Noah that seduced them in public, right? Saw them at a bookshop. It's like, hey, what are you reading? But they don't want to tell their kids, oh yeah, I swiped him on Tinder. He swiped me.
Yeah.
And then he said, hey, you want to meet up for Netflix? And like, they don't want that, right?
Netflix and chill.
But
little emoji.
Yeah, but the ironic part about that is that the men that are out there, and there are men, there's only a few of them, that are going up to women in bookshops. Am I South African? Going up to girls in bookshops and saying, hey, I thought you were cute. What are you reading? They're actually they're what they call day game or day riz in this modern day. Most men are too scared to do that, and the men that are doing it think that women are going to be like, harassment, go away.
Yeah, right.
But the women want that to tell their kids later in life. They're like, yeah, he's so cute, he came up to me, but don't do it. Don't come up to me in public, don't talk to me in public. But I want that, but don't do it. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. That's a really good insight. I mean,
that's after the Me Too movement, of course.
Yeah. I wonder if girls are aware of that. You know? I wonder if girls are aware that, like, it's like, I always think that you ever walking along a footpath and you just walk into a destination, but it's like there's no one around and there's a girl walking in front of you by herself.
You cross the road?
I'll stop. Well, I'll stop. I'll just be like, you know what? Because if I cross the road, like, it's
weird.
Like, okay, yeah, he's trying to put me off the scent. You know, like, I had this whole narrative in my head to make myself a fucking, like, stalker. And I'm like, what am I doing? But I'll do anything to make sure that she feels comfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what's going through her head. I don't know. Like, I've just made this whole thing about it, and I was like, wow. I wonder if so I caught myself the other day doing it. I was like, I wonder if girls are aware of this. You know, like, because there are some fucking weird creeps, and like, fuck those people. You know, but there's a lot of just really good, genuine people out there.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of really good, genuine men that would fuck up those guys.
Yeah.
Like, bang, you know? So I was like, oh, maybe I should just walk by them just in case some creep comes along, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, but I also wonder if this younger generation do think like that as well.
Well, even our generation, I had to learn Riz. I had to learn game. After my ex-wife, married for 11 months. After that ended abruptly.
The year, mate.
Yeah, that ended abruptly. I went on YouTube and searched how to talk to women. Because I was like, how do you do this? Like, I don't like dating apps.
You had to YouTube it.
Yeah, dating apps are fucked. And I was like, all right. And this was around 2016, and at the time there was this a few viewers might have heard of RSD. It's called Real Social Dynamics.
Never that ever.
Yeah, not many people do actually. I've met one other person. He's in the show at Infamous that actually knows about real social dynamics. Anyway, this is a company of men that used to coach other men how to go up to a girl in a bar or throughout the day. Girls on her way to work in New York or something, and they just like go up there, compliment her appearance, and they would teach. Yeah, they would teach. They teach very technical way, like to approach a woman, like do a big round circle to go in front. It's like, oh hey, I just saw you walk past, and thought you looked very cute, and I wanted to just say hi because this moment. We're gonna lose this moment forever, and I'll probably regret not saying hi. That's just an example. That's probably what I would say. I'm not sure what the, but so anyway, just for backstory, these guys in RSD, a couple of them, were originally in the circle of the game, that book that was written called The Game. And back in the day of the game, they were all about pickup lines. That's where pickup lines were big. So these guys would go out to a club, and they would literally go up to girls and do like a magic routine. It's like, I could guess your favorite color, and they would do these things, and and these guys would be teaching the dudes how to technically do all these magic tricks to get this girl to like you, and obviously that's bullshit, right? Pickup lines are bullshit. But these RSD guys that I was watching was more natural. So there was no lines in the head. You were just like, you go up, and it was all about the way you carry yourself, and you're just like, all right, let's talk to a lady, just like our grandparents or our dads used to do. And it's like, hey, I thought you were fucking gorgeous. Thought you were fucking gorgeous, mate. And thought I'd say g'day, and maybe see if we can't have a coffee.
I think the problem.
I had to learn that.
Yeah, but I think the problem with a lot of this gaming is that the end, like, depends what your end goal is. You know, if your end goal is just to sleep with the woman, you know, you're just going to say anything.
It's all in the end, it's all the mentality around it. And that's what I think essentially these guys were teaching in the end. I went off to watch these guys called the Natural Lifestyles, because the dude was an Australian guy called I can't remember, James Marshall, and he was just this casual Australian dude, and he'd go up to a girl in New York and be like, "Fuck, thought you looked fucking cute over there," and I wanted to just say hi and see what your deal is, where you're from, what are you doing, and he just started a conversation, and he was the one that was like, I used to walk down the street and give out compliments like I was a king and everyone was my peasants. So I was like, compliment for you, and here you are.
I don't think I'll
And so these guys taught me, after my marriage fell through, how to just be like, because I'm pretty introverted, but just how to give compliments and flirt a bit better and not say lines and shit. Just be like, hold the frame as a male. She's a feminine figure, and have like a bit of a dance, male fucking masculine feminine dance polarity. And
I mean, it goes back to girls just want to have fun, right?
Yeah,
goes back to that.
That's
can you? Because I've got a wee really badly. Oh yeah, how you got to Tingaluma and how we first met, and
after the old wife broke up. Yeah.
Well, I just think like there's a lot of guys out there. I think you know a lot of guys as well. I don't want to get like too deep on this shit, but there's a lot of guys out there that it's like they're end all, you know. They're just like, I love this girl. I'm in a small town. I love this girl so much, and you just you do see them end it all, you know. Like it's fucking crazy. Like, bro, just
go.
I know you think that. I know you think it, but it's there's going to be better days. There's going to be better days. Like right now, you think is not like that. This is it, and you're at the bottom. I think we've both been there. But it's
I knew a guy. His name is Steve. I remember having a conversation with him because all through high school he was bullied. He wasn't quite all there, but he was all there enough to just have a drink with and have a good conversation. Just like socially, just I don't know what everyone calls autism these days. Every second person's autistic these days. That's what he was like. I remember telling him because he attempted to kill himself, and so like it was a failed hanging, and I remember being at a pub, and he was just like, I can't remember what he was saying, but he was a real his mum was overbearing and just trying to keep him safe and in town, and I was just like, get out of town, go to, like I went to Lismore uni, it's like, go to Lismore, fucking just move, go, leave, go to fucking Ballina, you could go west, go to Gundy, and you could
go somewhere,
go to the Wobbly Boot in fucking Bogabilla. Anyway, he ended up hanging himself for real. Did the deed. It wasn't over. I don't think it was over a girl or anything. It's just like he just couldn't connect with anyone. Everyone bullied him, but later in life, like when we were like mid-20s, we didn't like. I confess I bullied him back in the day, made fun of him a bit because he used to call himself Catproof. That was his rapper name, Catproof.
I love it.
Because he survived a cat attack or something. I don't know what the rumours were. Anyway, yeah, and he just didn't leave Tenterfield, didn't get out of town, and killed himself. Along with a handful of other guys I know around my age that killed themselves. Absolutely mental. I got married young, stupid. We were just like, yeah, we're in love. We won't meet anyone else. And she ended up cheating. Seems to be the way. One person cheats or some shit or some, you know. Anyway, yeah, she ended up hooking up with her old school friend. Turns out she had a lot more in common with him than she had with me. But yeah, anyway, she ended up cheating. Came home one morning. I was like, where you been? I had a pretty good idea where she'd been, and she couldn't really vocalize it, and I was just started swearing and yelling. I was like, where the fuck did you fuck him? You know, did you fuck him, kind of thing. And she kind of just cried and kind of nodded, you know, it's like, yeah. And I threw a pillow at her. And then,
I was about to say, you're the most non-violent person ever. So I don't know, I don't know how you've reacted to this.
That pillow fucking did some damage. Anyway, and then kind of just left the room. And Alex and Roger were there with me at the time. We were going out or something, and they're just like, "What's going on? What's happening?" My dad was like, "What's going on? What the fuck's going on in there?" You know. And I was like, "Oh yeah, she cheated." Blah blah blah. And they didn't know what to say. And I was just like, what do I do?
You wouldn't.
And they're just like, do you want to go get a drink or something? You know, they didn't know what to say. And
of course, yeah.
And anyway, I ended up going back in the room. I kissed her on the forehead, and said, "I love you," and goodbye, and just left. And we went. I think we did go to the pub. And me and the two boys went to the pub, and she packed her stuff and left. Anyway, the following 6 months, I was in a kind of a drunken state of fucking pretty much in a coma of. I was drunk all the time. I was smoking weed. I even did some ice. I smoked the ice pipe. I was just hanging out with anyone. You know when you lose all your inhibitions and you just like don't care who you're with?
Yeah. You've lost all your track of like you're on a rail, you're a train, you've been derailed off that road. You know, like derailed. I'm heading there. It's like, you know, and then you've just derailed and and it just sounds like you're in the same state as what these guys that we've both known have been in, you know.
But like no one like you try to give advice to these guys, it doesn't work. They've got to want to pull themselves out. And I got to a point where I was just like drunk every night, ending up at these random places, and I'd be doing whatever they were doing, including the old hard drug. But I just got to a point I was like bored, and I was like, all right, I've had enough of this. And I applied for 200 jobs around Australia, and I remember it was on a Sunday night. Do you remember Renee Bettles?
Yep.
Yeah. So she rang me on a Sunday night from Tangalooma, Moreton Island, just off Brisbane, and she's like, "Hey, we need a bartender, and I like your resume. Let's ask me a few questions." She liked my attitude, and she's like, "Could you get here on Wednesday?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably, yeah." Didn't have the money to do it, but yeah. Packed a bag, caught a bus to Brisbane, caught a ferry to Tangalooma, where I met this fella. Where we met, like, and knew that was a life-changing moment. I went somewhere else, changed the environment. Here we are.
I would like to know like the situation you're in, because I can hear my inner self going, yeah, well, that's easy for you because you weren't in the situation I was in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, what you said that your ex-missus, she left that situation. She moved out. Did you guys own a house together, or what happened there?
No, we were living at my dad's. Yeah. So we moved to Lismore together, where we rented together for like a year or something, and both went to university in Lismore, and I like pretty much finished up my shit, and she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna."
You were gonna say much. Degree, then realised it's an art degree.
Yeah. It doesn't count for much, an art degree. She was.
No, mate, you're fucking doing some good shit. She
was studying the same degree, and I think she deferred, because we wanted to travel to Asia together, and we're like, all right, let's leave this place in Lismore, move back to my dad's place. We both worked. I was working 3 pub jobs. She was working like a reception job and a pub job or something, and we're just like hustling. And when 2 people are just working all the time, it's surprising if you don't end up in someone ended up in an affair, you know.
Yeah. You kind of forget who each other are. So yeah.
So that's how that happened.
What do you reckon would, you know, because you've been through that, what would you say to someone that's either going through it or recently went through it, or, you know, someone, like, if you could go back to old Adam and be like, bro, I've got a little bit of advice for you, what would you say?
I would say at least 90% of all problems in that kind of scenario are solved by the environment that you're in. If you change that environment, everything changes. I think like whatever mental state you're in, through cheating, through a divorce, through grief, through someone passing away that's close to you, if you just change the situation that you're in, if you go move somewhere else, problem solved. 90% of the time it will be solved. That's my advice.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Yeah, I think that's good advice. Like, if you think, I mean,
and that's not running. That's not running away. It's just changing.
Well, it's about changing your environment. I mean, like doing psychology and stuff, you talk about, you actually speak like, as per psychology, you speak like the 4 most people you hang around the most.
Yeah.
So when you hang around different crowd, you hear yourself saying different shit. Like if I hang around a bunch of 20-year-olds, I'll be fucking saying Riz and all these fucking real weird words and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it is funny that you mention Tangalooma, because Tangalooma, on our journey of remote places. So I'd already been to Hayman, and then I went to Tangalooma, then I went to Yalara, then I went to Sapphire down in Tassie, which is Coles Bay. But I went to all these like little remote areas, and it's so easy to convince yourself that that is the world, right there. Yeah. It's a little circle, you know, and you fall in love with people you work with, and then it doesn't work out, and you think, oh, I like all these girls, they just don't like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough is something it resonates in a lot of people's heads. Oh, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough for that. Yeah. You are. You're in the wrong environment. Yeah. You need to just be you, you know, and you be you, and that attracts other people that are, you know, that are like you. It's like if you're, for example, if you're a massive Harry Potter fan, and in your circle or in that little town, Tangalooma, for example, we're at Tangalooma, and I'm like, man, massive Harry, and everyone's like, you're all weird. That's not your thing. You know, it's like, so you start to go, oh, maybe I am weird. That's a bit weird. Oh, okay. But then if you just really follow that, and you go to start to go to conventions and shit, Harry Potter conventions, and you start meeting a whole bunch of, you know, we're tribalistic people. Yeah. We want people that we resonate with. So,
and you'll come across as much approachable person because you're being your authentic self as well, because that's your thing. Harry Potter is your thing. Well, you're genuinely into it. People would be attracted to you because you're genuinely putting yourself across. It's very tempting to go off to an island, which I think I did a little bit, and become a new character. You can even have a new name, and you can just be whoever you want, you know.
Mate, I think we talked about that when we first met. It was like, I can be someone different here. Yeah. You know, I start a new life, if you will. Yeah. But it's not even starting a new life. It's just that you're forgetting that old self of you. Like, because we both went from, like, I was in a relationship for like 10 years, but instead of going to Tangalooma, and same thing, she cheated. Yeah. I was like, fuck that, because I'm one of those people, I'll give you everything once. Yeah. But if you fuck that up, I'm out. I'm in 100%, but I'm out 100%. Like, you know. And I went to Hayman, and I just drove up the Queensland coast. No idea what the fuck I was doing. I was comfortable. I had a good job, but I just felt deep in my soul that I was always meant to do better things than what the fuck I was doing. Yeah. You know, like when you start hating Mondays and enjoying Fridays was always a red flag to me. Yeah. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This isn't reality. This isn't life. This isn't what I was put on this planet for. Yeah. So, I just drove north, and I ended up on Hayman, and just lived my best life. I met some awesome people that just made me remember who the fuck I was, which is always like important. And then like a few years later, went to Tangalooma, met you, and here we are.
Here we are. we played up a bit on Tangalooma. We were both in a bit of a party phase, bit of a slut phase.
Yeah, we were in a bit of a slut phase, weren't we? I think it was because, like, for myself, I had most of my 20s erased through that, you know. And I don't like to say that because I think that you know, when you're given like a 10-year relationship, and I always see it as a learning curve, you know, where I was like, well, I always thought that she would catch up. She would catch up to me. And I think a lot of girls would probably resonate with this, because generally speaking, the girl would always mature faster than the guy. That's why girls will generally date an older guy, you know. So I was waiting for her to catch up, but she never did. And she was always immature, and then boom, cheats, you know. So yeah, I was like, well, it made me who I am today. So you know, I would love to change it, but then I don't want to change who I am now. And so, you know, it's
well,
like
it's interesting because when did we go to Tangalooma?
I feel it was about 2017.
2017. So we've known each other for like 6-7 years.
Yeah. Wow, that's a while. It feels like it doesn't feel like that long ago since I was at Tangalooma.
No,
you know?
No, it just feels like we just went there. Yeah.
I was just thinking about it before, of just to not change the subject, because we've been talking pretty heavy.
Well,
but
you do have ADHD, so changing subjects is quite a common occurrence.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a whole subject in itself. I don't know if anyone else has ADHD out there, but if you, when I was at school, and I don't know, I remember conversation. I was very young. I always got in my report card that I distract other students. You know, it's the classic, like, struggles to stay focused, blah, 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 blah. But there were certain subjects that I got A+ in. Drama. I was drama A+.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I was good at acting. It was because it was movement.
Yeah.
You know, and then even in science, I got A+. But that was only with a certain teacher because it was practical.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's less of a problem with the individual, more of a problem with the education system, because they're saying, sit still, write shit down, learn it. And I don't learn like that. I'm a practical learner.
Yeah.
And it even goes into my adulthood, you know. But yeah, the ADHD is it's a wild adventure, and if you know how to use it, it's a superpower, you know. But yeah, I remember like being diagnosed, if you will. I think I called it ADD. I called it ADD back then, and I remember them talking to my mum and saying, "Yeah, your kid needs Riddlin or whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, he needs to stay focused in class." Yeah. And my mum, very sweet lady, it like wouldn't hurt a fly. If she, you know, like, she's one of those ones, she sees a fly, she doesn't get the fly swat, she like tries to capture it and throws them outside. Yeah. Like, just very, very sweet. And she was like, fuck that. And they were like, what? Sorry, what? And she's like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's really intelligent, and you're not giving him any drugs. Like, you've just got to improve your teaching, you know. And it really kind of threw them back. And I always am grateful for her saying that, because I don't think I'd be the person that I am today. Like, I wouldn't end up where I am without her. So
more parents should do that.
Actually, that does. I mean, ADHD again, but like, it made me think of school mottos. Oh, school mottos.
I don't remember.
Do you remember what yours were?
No. You
don't remember? So when I was in Gundawindi, if anyone knows where Gundawindi is, it's southeast Queensland, right on the border. Yeah. If you want to avoid the Gold Coast Brisbane bullshit, you go inland. You go through Tenterfield. Oh, you go through Tenterfield? I don't know. You might be a bit further out. Yeah. Either way. So the Gundawindi state school motto, I'd love everyone to know what their school motto was, because you look back at it, it gives you a giggle. Our school motto was, whatever you do well.
Inspiring.
It is inspiring. I mean, if you're a hooker, you suck the best dick out there. Yeah. Don't you let anyone else
be the best at it.
Be the best at it. I actually recently looked that up. I was like, I wonder if they changed it, because they got a lot of shit for whatever you do well. And they did. They changed it to something like I think it was like be well or do well or something like that. They shortened it a lot. So yeah. And
I'm just looking at Tenterfield High School. It's hard to find there. Prêt à accomplir is the...
Oh, you guys were in French. Is that French?
I think it's French, or is it the language that came before all the other languages? What was that? What was that?
Like Latin?
Latin, yeah. I think it's Latin.
Oh man, I've got to know, because I was thinking about this before too. One of my work colleagues have explained this as being on a roller coaster, like trying to follow one of my stories. Like we're on a roller coaster together, or we're in a car together, and we're heading down a highway, and I just fucking
yeah.
They're like, oh shit, you know. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we're heading this way, fucking, you know. Or if you're a gamer, I think the best way to explain it is that you're on a main quest, but I do all of the side quests first.
Yeah, you do.
Like I ain't that main quest, man. I ain't that shit. So it was just one of the things I was thinking of. When I was thinking about school, I was thinking about like my first girlfriends and shit like that, which is quite funny to think back at that. But I also thought, what's like?
Didn't you go out with ballerina? Didn't you date a ballerina?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was yeah, I did not have a girlfriend until I was in like a proper girlfriend. Sorry if any former girlfriends are listening before the age of 17. But yeah, before year 12, I didn't have a proper girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I went into drama. And as I said before, like I was really good at drama. I was really good at drama, and I became. I did a few musicals, and I was Robin Hood. Ooh. I was Robin Hood in this musical. So I wore tights, which meant old ladies loved me, which was very creepy, because you know I was like 16 and all that, and you know you can't be displaying what you got at 16. And anyway. So yeah, I ended up dating one of the dancers, and that was like, that was my first girlfriend.
Wow.
She was cool. Like her family, well, not family, but her dad had like a vineyard.
Yeah.
So I remember at 17, getting drunk as fuck.
This is where it
came like from, when
this is where it started.
But you know, like when you meet the dad, and you've got to like be masculine with the dad, like to show you're good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, do you like wine? And I'm like, I'm fucking 17. Like, well, I don't even know what alcohol is. I haven't drunk a legal beer.
I've had goon.
I've had that goon before.
That's a free
anyway, he just pours one of these puppies in front of me, and oh man, like we got so drunk. Me and her dad just got like, he ends up going to bed. I end up going into the lounge room and shagging his daughter.
Is that when you lost
so it? I was like, I think I passed my test. I think I passed the test.
Is that when you lost your virginity, or?
Nah, that was earlier. That was wild. Like, I recently watched something where they were talking about how as a young guy you don't know where the vagina is, and it's so true. Like until you watch like porn or something, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck? You know, and we had some like dodgy shit. There wasn't like Pornhub or anything like that everyone's got today. Yeah, so I remember I was really young. I don't remember how young I was, but it was with a consensual age girl, just for the legal system.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember like we were kissing, and then like we kind of got naked, and
yeah,
we just thought that was sex. We had no idea what. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here, but
sounds like the Amish. How the Amish have sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do they call
We just
it?
got naked, stood there. We did a tribal dance, and and I was and I kissed her a few times, and I was like, I assume that's how a baby's made.
Done.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna ghost you. But no, it was. But I did think of like, what is okay? So if you're on a date. If you're on a date, like say you're on you're on Hinge, are you? You go on a date, and the girl, it's going really well, and the girl you go back to that girl's house. Now you see something about that house that is an instant red flag. Ick, get the fuck out of there. What is it?
Probably one of those pink Himalayan salt lamps.
Weird. What's wrong with it? I would have that. If I was a chick, I'd have
that. No, I don't know why that came to my mind. I think it was
No. You know what you associate that with? It's just crazy. You're just crazy. Just
crazy hippies.
Sorry. And just like the cycle of the moon right now is not right for me. Yeah, that's one of those girls.
What's your red flag?
Because real hippie girls, real hippie girls, they don't need Himalayan salt lamps. They're fake hippie girls. Yeah, like for me, if I go in and if it's like there's like plants everywhere, good sign. That's a good sign. That's a green flag for me. It's like, fuck yeah, she can take care of plants.
Green thumb.
That's a green thumb right there. But if I go up to that and that shit's plastic, get the fuck out of here. I can't.
Well, you've got to get out of there. You've got to run.
No, yeah, I'm out, man. Like, I'm out of that shit. Like, you can't. Are you telling me you can't look after a succulent? A fucking succulent?
Yeah. Something
that thrives from
neglect.
Like neglect.
Yeah.
You can't look after that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I assume she's just a psychopath from that point, you know.
And plus, like, it's like kind of anti-environmentalist, isn't it? You don't want to use plastic, but you get plastic nature. It's plastic nature in your house.
It's so.
Isn't that weird?
It's such like, I love nature, but let's purchase something that's plastic and kill nature.
Yeah.
I can't do it, mate.
Yeah.
I can't do it. No.
Yeah.
No.
What's a red flag for you on a dating app? On a dating profile.
I've got so many. I'm so fussy. I've got so many. I saw a girl today that said that she was into VS Commodores.
Can you super not like?
Super not like, yeah, just to let them know that they're way off. I was like I think we were talking about this the other day. I might get some hate for this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I'm just going to my beer fridge. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right. Super masculine women.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mate. I get it. Or, like, I'd rather it be that way than the opposite.
I mean,
where you don't work out and you like, one of your interests is KFC or something. Like, okay, no, thank you. But, I just get, like, on
Newcastle. I'm in Newcastle right now. Full of them.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Every second person I'm swiping in Newcastle is like a crazy fit woman.
Do they say, like, I get, because we've always spoke about, like, with a dating app, and you're putting up a dating app. Actually, if this is for any of the guys listening, what would you... Because I feel like we could really critique some dating apps, like at the profiles on a dating app.
Yeah, we'll roast them.
So
send them in, guys.
What would you say is a definite no
for men to do?
Yeah.
Just fucking... In general, it's like you need to have some friends involved in these photos that you upload. Like if your first photo is you with a fish, obviously, but in saying that, I've swiped through a few girls and they're just like, just want someone to go fishing.
They're holding a fish.
Yeah, and the girls like, just want to go fishing with someone. So a lot of girls are out there to get the guy with the fish. So it's not a big no. Mate. But if you've just got the fish and then you've just got the selfie with a bad angle, and then you've just got a mirror selfie, and then you've just got one of those photos that your mate's taken when you wore a suit once because you went to court.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you just like...
Yeah, well, you got your... awkward in it.
Yeah, and you got your sunnies on and you're just like...
Oh, yeah. That old lean back shit?
Yeah.
Looking it's up, like, maybe a cigar that you've never smoked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if it's really orchestrated, like directed, someone set it up really well, big red flag. I think women... I don't know... We're speaking for women here. We don't really know, but I think they'd be like, "Oh, he's got no friends. That's set up. That's staged." But if you got a bunch of photos that someone has randomly taken at a party because you're the life of the party and people have been taking it.
Oh, what's it called when you've got good sense of fashion? What's that called? That's not Riz, is it?
Style.
Just style?
Yeah,
is that
style.
They haven't made a new word for
these
that.
Kids, they call it drip. He's got that drip.
Drip. Boom. You know who's got good drip?
Who? Tell me.
Homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was driving the other day and there was like this, I assume homeless guy. He was quite dishevelled.
Yeah.
It looked like he would be the kind of guy that asks for $1, then wander into the TAB and then chuck some money on the horses. Yeah. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he he was just walking, fucking hair like no one cares.
Yeah.
And just this shit you'd get from an op shop that you would kind of run over a few times in your car.
Yeah.
Then put it on. I was like, yeah, King, fucking get it, bro. And the pants looked like they were from 1969.
Yeah.
And they had been forgotten about, pulled out from an attic.
Some old Levi's.
My man.
Yeah.
And we know fashion goes around in a circle like that.
Yeah.
So I think they're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I'm already on. I'm already on whatever the fuck they're on, because you know the song. What's that song? I'll wear your granddad's clothes.
Yeah.
Look, thrift shop, right?
Yeah. Iconic.
Yes. So everyone, you could be that person. If you're like, it's not me. That's you, bro. That's you. So you get these guys walking around imaginary lats and shit. It's like,
yeah,
bruh. What's up, bruh? You right, bruh? Yeah, bruh. Oosa. Yeah, they're the guys that make super loud noises
they drink,
the gym.
They drink Bundy rum as well.
Yeah,
100%.
Actually, they probably wouldn't drink because their whole. This is what a lot of girls need to know, and this is why I wouldn't date a gym girl, a true gym girl. it's because she's a gym bro and she doesn't know it, where her whole lifestyle and reality is the gym.
And calories.
So I bet I could, you know the girl. Yeah. I bet I could bench more than you, girl. Yeah. Okay, you might be able to, but what else do you have going on?
Yeah.
Please tell me more about yourself.
Yeah.
Other than the gym. So, yeah, girls would know. There's a lot of gym bros out there. We're just like, yeah, so,
yeah.
yeah, so, like, what are you doing with things? Like, how are you? And you're like, the girl's like, oh, what are you doing?
Right, yeah. It's like, what is your deepest, intricate kind of personality traits? What do you like most in the world that really gets under the surface level of the reality that we're all confined to? Oh yeah, I like doing triceps. Yeah. Some days I do leg day twice in one day. It's like,
and you're like, wow.
Cool. Because
okay.
when you think about working out, it's a very basic thing, isn't it? It's like all you're doing is lifting objects against gravitational force, and you do it as a way to keep healthy.
Yeah, I mean, we all should do it. And we all should shut the fuck up about it as well. So just get over it, move on. It's like saying, hey, Adsy, I breathed some oxygen in today.
How many breaths?
More than everyone else, tell you that much. Fucking what?
Damn.
Can we still rate? I'm sure girls rate. It's a girls rate.
I'd like to know.
We've spoke about this. Actually, you famously was that TikTok? What would you say about living next to the coast and?
Oh yeah, TikTok's about 50,000 views on that one. When you go closer to the coast, everyone's more attractive. Yeah.
You know, like there's definitely a certain truth about it. So I always believed that I was like maybe a Yalara 8, which, you know, because I didn't have anything going looks-wise. That's why I could never club. I could never go clubbing where there's loud music and I'm just here screaming at a girl.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And especially because I'll go red in the face and sweat and shit. I'm like, you know, and
so how do you get your personality across?
Exactly. How do I get my charm? I can't do that. So I need a quieter place, for one. So again, what you said, environment. It's all about environment. So I was a Yalara 8 just because I was a tour guide. And it was a very small population. Yeah. Also, you for some reason your job title takes up, you know, if I was a sewage cleaner, I don't know what else, you know, they'd get paid good money, ladies. Don't you fucking put them down. Yeah. Or something like that. They'd be like, no, that's not fun. That's not fun.
Small town.
But a girl going to the middle of Australia and she's like, I want to have fun. And then she sees tour guide. And then he's not the most attractive guy, but he's kind of funny. Yeah. And he's the best you've got out there. That's an 8. Yeah. If I went to Byron, however, where we've got a bunch of Chris Hemsworths walking around, I'm like a 3 at the best. Yeah. At the best. Oh, yeah, you're funny. And?
So the moral of the story is just don't go to Byron Bay.
Don't go to Byron Bay. Yeah. If you are working to better yourself, you know, you get plus points, 100%. But
even like, I know quite a few people. I've worked with quite a few people that have zero hobbies. Like zero. They go to work. They go home. The only thing they do in their spare time, they don't read a book. They don't educate themselves. They only scroll TikTok or Reels or go through Instagram or, you know, they don't even go on YouTube and watch something educational. Like they have zero hobbies. They will like scroll until it gets to night time, and they're like, all right, let's put on some Married at First Sight, and then they'll finish watching that. Maybe they'll watch a movie, so they've consumed some art of some kind. They've watched a film, good stuff. But then they'll go and they'll sit in the bed, and they'll scroll absolute garbage all night long about celebrity gossip.
Crazy.
It's like, and that's a lot of people these days. Like,
I think
where's your hobby? Where's your passions?
Yeah, I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of people. I mean, that's one of the reasons I got rid of most of my social media. I think anything external that has a hold on you, you should get rid of.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So whether it be a person, a place, a thing, anything like that. So if you could, because your happiness is then placed in that person, place, thing, whatever. So anyone in a toxic relationship will fucking know what I'm talking about, where they're like, my happiness is based on that person, how they're feeling that day. And that sounds crazy because I'm no longer in a toxic relationship. But when I was in it, fucking 100%, that was me. Like, oh, okay, how's she feeling today?
Yeah.
Because she's kind of bipolar. So, if we're having a good day, we're having a good day,
Yeah.
But the place as well, if, like a workplace, if you go in there and it's like a real negative thing and everyone's having a bad day, and then that's where your happiness resides. A thing like a TV show or something, like you've got to look inwards.
Yeah.
You've fucking 100% got to look inwards. And if you're not looking inwards, you'll never be truly happy,
Yeah.
I was thinking of something as you were talking, and I was going to write it down. I actually got a pen. I was like, oh, I'm going to write that down because I'm going to I'm going to forget about it, which I did. I should have wrote it down.
Circumstantial happiness. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, man. I'm sure a lot of people relate to that. But just they should know that they're not alone with it. We've all been there. There's just a fucking the grass is greener, brother. The grass is greener on the other side. Yeah. All you've got to do. I remember saying to, do you remember Jared? He went through some fucking, like, he was my next door neighbour out of Yalara.
He went through Kate.
And he went through Kate, he did, yeah.
But
before he got to Cato, he was going through some real shit. And I've always had this theory, if you tick the pillars of certain things, you'll be happy, or you'll be on the road to happiness. So the first one is like what you eat. What are you eating? Like, what are you putting in your body?
Yeah.
So that's your nutrition. That's your diet. If you're eating junk food, guess what you're gonna fucking feel like? Junk. Yeah. Are you exercising? Are you going okay? Some days we don't feel like exercising. Our body's sore. I get it. Yeah. But at least increase your heart rate. Just get it up. Get it going. Do a little push bike ride.
Get some sun.
Go for a walk. Go for a run. Everyone can run. Yeah. If you can't run, do a fast walk. Just get that heart rate up. Yeah. Get it doing something. So that's body and that's pretty much body, right? So you got your nutrition and you've got you've got your exercise. So the next thing is mind. I would like, for myself, I need to keep learning. If I'm not learning, I'm like, nah, I'm bored. Yeah. And I start overthinking about shit.
Yeah.
So I need to not distract my mind, but I need to give my mind something to think about. So let me learn. If I'm learning, I'm fucking peachy, bro. I'm peachy. Yeah. So that's body. That's mine. We need to talk about heart. So you need to either talk to someone that you love, like your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever you unconditionally love. If you don't have anyone like that, get a fucking pet, because a dog, cat, they're unconditional. Well, cat maybe not as much. A dog will. Yeah. So what do we got? Body, mind, heart. One more. Soul. That is your creative side. That's where I'm going to talk about yourself. Your creative side. I believe everyone has a creative side. Everyone does. For myself, I wouldn't consider myself too creative, but I definitely have like a theatre side where I feel fulfilled. Like if I'm in front of an audience or a crowd, I get this sense of fulfillment, and I can if you can hold that audience's attention like that, and just like a pin can drop in the room, there's a certain power about it. It's fucking awesome. You know? And there's no other feeling like it. And I assume that you get that same feeling if you're, if you're a writer, you draw, you paint, and even if you go, oh, I'm not that good, because that's most people. I'm not that good. Do it for yourself. Just draw something.
Yeah.
I drew an eagle once. I drew an eagle only for myself, and I wasn't going to fucking try and share it. Just drew it. I painted it, and it wasn't for anyone else but me.
My obsession with showing everything on social media was a part of that, and that's probably that was probably a con, probably a downside of if anyone knows me, knows that I've been showing my life on social media since MySpace.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, that's one thing you do struggle to get rid of is social media.
Yeah.
Because you always use the excuse like, it's fucking work, you know.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. It's strange. It's like so each person that has social media has a very small level of fame, and it's like the fame latches the claws into you.
It definitely does. Like, I mean, like me having just 700 followers on Instagram and like 1,000 on Facebook or whatever the fuck it is, even though I've deactivated it. I was like, wow, 1,000 people. Because if you put 1,000 people into like a fucking hall or a venue, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. But we're not. Well, for me, I don't know. I just don't think we are supposed to have that many close friends.
No.
Because I would rather have, which thankfully I do, like a handful of close friends versus like fucking, like 3,000 friends.
Yeah.
Like I want a friend that's like, if I ring up and I go, hey man, I'm in trouble. Like if you rang me up and you're like, hey, I'm in real trouble, I'll be like, cool, I'm booking a flight. I'm there, you know. And that's what you need. That's what you need. They're the people you need in your life. Instead of this, it's like, hey, you're looking great.
Yeah.
Fuck, like false. It goes back to the thing I was saying in part one of that. What's it called? So you got compliments and you got flattery. Flattery. Yeah. I don't know, man. What do you reckon? We round this shit up. Yeah, I was trying to think of. I had a story in mind to tell, but I fucking forgot. I remembered it during the piss break, and I was like, I've got to tell that story.
When you were on a little rant there before, I had like a really good segue into something else, but I forgot it. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, we could probably just do that in the next time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was doing when you were on the rant. I was trying to find my pen, and I was trying to write down what you were ranting about because I was like, damn it, I was going to segue into something really cool there. But yeah, that's all right.
Well, at least we anyway, I'll stop recording.
Yeah.